Hey everybody, Josh here again with the Rage Real Estate team, just bringing you another market update. Similar to last time, we're going to be talking about how shifting market demand has changed to sustained market demand. In other words, we're probably going to be here for a little while. Low interest rates are transitioning into climbing interest rates, and then our record low inventory seems to be saying, how low can you go? It just seems like we've got extremely low inventory out there, and actually, that's a misnomer, and so we're going to talk a little bit about that. So, a frequently asked question is, why is demand so high right now? One, societal shift. We've already talked about this, so I'm not going to talk about it too much, but COVID influenced the market in some pretty substantial ways. One being, people decided that they wanted more space in their homes. And so we saw the condo and townhome market slow down a little bit, especially in downtown Denver, as people moved out of their offices and into their home offices and out into the suburbs. And so we're seeing that has driven a lot of demand. People are looking for more home to buy more space for their families. Secondly, there's a decade-long shortage of new inventory. Prior to the crash in 2008, we were counting on a steady influx of new supply every year from the home builders. When the crash happened in 2008, the builders either went bankrupt or just pulled up stakes and moved elsewhere. And so Denver didn't have much in the way of new homes for several years. It just dried up. So we are behind in the amount of new inventory we should have seen over this last 10 years. Third, money is cheap. So interest rates right now are unbelievably low, and we're going to talk a little bit about that and the impact that that has actually on your monthly payment. So jumping right into it, the cost of money. This chart here, this graph, breaks down what it would look like for you to buy a $600,000 house right now, which is the average, roughly, right around the average home cost in Denver right now, which just sounds crazy for me to even say. But a $600,000 purchase price with a 10% down payment on a 30-year fixed loan, if we assume all of those norms, at 3%, your monthly payment would be roughly $2,276. If that interest rate climbs up to 4%, your payment climbs up almost $300 to $2,578. And if the interest rate climbs to 5%, you're looking at $2,898 every month. So there's a difference of $600 a month in an interest rate climb of just 2%. Another interesting impact is the amount of interest you'll actually pay over the life of that 30-year loan. At 3%, you'd pay $280,000, and at 5%, you'd pay $503,000. So interest rates do have a big impact, not just on your monthly payment, but on the overall amount of interest you're going to pay over 30 years. And these record low interest rates at around 3% are driving a lot of home buyers into the market. Because now, when they first think about it, they think there's no way I could afford $600,000. But when they talk to a lender at 3%, it seems a lot more reasonable than they were thinking. Okay, so what's new? First of all, we're going to talk about exiting market compression. We'll talk about what the latest is on home prices, and then we'll share some advice for buyers and sellers. So, exiting compression. This is the time of year, late May, is when we are typically coming out of a compressed market. Compressed market is just what results when all of the buyers enter the marketplace in January, and the sellers, by and large, wait till April to add their homes to the market. The market is very compressed during that window because there's not a lot of homes for all these buyers to buy, and when new homes do hit, the buyers gobble them up. Well, we have been in a compressed market since last year. It never let up last spring. This green dotted line here shows the rate of compression for 2020, and it just never let up. And so we're still in it. We're still carrying right through with this situation where as soon as homes are hitting the market, buyers are gobbling them up. So this is the time of year when we should be exiting compression, and we might, by midsummer, start coming out of compression. It just remains to be seen. It's anybody's guess at this point. Okay, I'm going to move to just talk briefly about the misnomer of low inventory. It's not really true that we have lower inventory than ever before, and I'll explain why. This chart here shows our new weekly listing count, okay? I'm just going to focus here in the middle, 500,000 to a million, and I'm going to look at this red box, the 550 homes. That's May 2020. We had 550 homes hitting the market on a weekly basis. That was our weekly new listing count. And in May of 2021, we're up 125 homes, 675. So we actually have more inventory than we did last year. But what is making it feel different is our active daily count. The active daily count is the residual number of homes that are left on the market in our active inventory. That's the number of homes that we're actually carrying. They didn't get bought up right away. And that's where we've got options. Buyers have options to choose from. And this is the change, a key change. If you look down here at the bottom, that red box, active inventory, active daily listings was 2,600 in May of last year. This year, it's 700. So we're putting more homes on the market. There are just more buyers snapping them up as soon as they get on the market. And so it is dramatically decreasing our active inventory, which feels like a reduced inventory. And it truly isn't. It's just a skyrocketing demand. There are more buyers than ever looking for homes and willing to pay for those homes. Now, what's happening with home prices? Here is a chart that shows you the change in home prices. On the left, you've got attached single-family townhomes, condos, and on the right, you've got detached single-family, which is where I'm going to focus. Our average price, sold price in 2020 was $543,000. So far, our average sold price in 2021 through April is $689,000. So from January to April of 2020, we were at $543,000. January to April, just a year later, we're at $689,000. That is a difference of over $145,000. The average home in Denver has climbed $145,000 in 1 year, which is challenging for buyers, especially first-time home buyers. And the way we're seeing that happen is in multiple offer situations. So if you're a first-time home buyer going out there, it would be very wise for you to talk to any family members that you can. If your parents could maybe help you with some cash to add to your offer, because here's what's happening. A $400,000, we just saw this last weekend, a $420,000 house is getting bid up to $520,000, $100,000 over their list price, with $100,000 in appraisal gap coverage, which means if the home only appraises at $420,000, the buyer will bring an extra $100,000 cash to the table. Most first-time buyers can't do that. I couldn't do that even now. What's happening is parents are gifting funds to buyers to help them make that sort of a strong offer that is required. And so now, what was honestly a $420,000 house, as soon as that closes, now has become a $520,000 home. And so that's why we have seen this jump of $145,000 in 1 year. Now, obviously, that's not sustainable. And we don't expect that to continue indefinitely because it can't. But these are the new prices in Denver. This is the new cost of buying a home in Denver for the foreseeable future. And so you do need to start planning as buyers, start planning to make your offers strong, and we can talk about that. Sellers, this is a great time to sell a home. There's just no other way to put it. We've never seen anything like this. As long as you get your home ready in the right way and you have a good plan for selling your home, you can take advantage of this market, and we can help you negotiate time in your home after you sell it so that you're not homeless after you sell your home and you can afford to go out and find your next place. Okay, moving on. Here's just a brief recap. New listings are hitting the market at a kind of a typical rate and actually a little higher. We're seeing actually a little bit higher inventory, even though it doesn't feel like it. What's different is the leftover, the active inventory, is substantially down by 70% year over year. And closings are up 15% because there are more buyers and they are buying up all of the inventory that hits the market as soon as it hits the market. Lastly, our advice for buyers and sellers. I've talked a little bit about this, but one question that we get asked is, are we in a bubble? No, we're not in a bubble because even though this is crazy, it is being sustained and fueled by true market growth, population growth. Denver truly is growing in size. And then secondly, it's being fueled by true wealth. Our economy is strong, our jobs market is strong, and people's incomes are strong. And so these are not inflated numbers. This is true market shift and true market demand. And so this does not appear to be a bubble. If I sell, sellers, where would I buy? We are advocating right now that if you're a seller, you plan on requesting a 60-day post-closing occupancy in your home. That means when you sell your home, that process from going under contract to closing typically takes about 30 days. We're negotiating an additional 60 days after that for you to stay in your home so that you can be a very strong buyer because you're not contingent, you're not waiting for your home to sell, it already has sold. And we're seeing that 60 days gives most buyers plenty of time to find a home and close on it in this market, even though it is challenging. And then third, I'm not a millionaire. Should I give up? No, you should not give up. If you're looking to buy a home right now, there are programs out there that can help you. There are still first-time homebuyer grants out there. We are still helping buyers get under contract, and we just had several go under contract this month who didn't have the parents kicking in $100,000. It just requires us to get creative with our offers. We know how to do that, and we can help you. Let's talk. Don't give up. In fact, don't wait for interest rates to climb, because then it will only get harder for you to buy. So if you're thinking about buying this year, let's talk now rather than later. That's our update. Thanks for watching. If you've got any questions, you can reach out anytime via email, phone, on our website. We would love to hear from you.